Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997 back with another figure review. This time my DC Universe Classics Wave 8 Figure 3 Mr. Terrific. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the whole Mr. Terrific legacy really quick. Mr. Terrific started in the Golden Age as a character called Terry Sloan, who was a man that was really gifted in all aspects of life. He was a great athlete, he was really smart, he was rich, and he just wasn't fulfilled with life. And he was about to kill himself, and he saw this woman fall off a bridge, he saved her, and then he just kind of realized, this is my fulfillment in life. So he called himself Mr. Terrific and became a superhero. Later on, he was killed. But Mr. Terrific, or Michael... what was his name? Michael Holt. Michael Holt was he was much in the same situation. He was really gifted, and then his wife and his unborn child were killed in a car accident. So we were sitting there contemplating suicide when the Spectre, who is this vengeful spirit in the DC Universe, kind of appeared to him and told him the story of Terry Sloan. And he's like, that's it, I'm Mr. Terrific. So the only real connection is, you'll notice on the arm of his jacket, if I can get it in play, well, it's there, it's split up, but it'll say Fair Play. The original Mr. Terrific formed a club for kids to stop juvenile delinquency, and he called it the Fair Play Club. So I don't know if that's where he got his jacket or what. But anyways, on to the actual figure. You're going to notice all these little T-spheres floating out, more on those later. In the rest of the wave, there's Commander Steel, Dr. Fate, Mr. Terrific, Gentleman Ghost, Parademon, Vigilante, and Hawkgirl. His biography doesn't tell you anything I haven't already told you. Well, it talks about his T-spheres, which are basically just tiny floating little nods to everything. They're your GPS, they can, it's just everything. Let's see if it doesn't have a list. GPS systems project holograms and emit electrical charges. Yeah, there you go. So overall, this looks like a great figure. Loved it. Glad to have him. Let's pull him out of the box. And here he is out of the box. Now, I've got to say right off the bat, when I saw these T-spheres, I thought it was the same kind of connection as Booster Gold's Skeets. And to a point it is, but on the back here, you'll notice when you pull it out, or if it just falls out on its own, which it'll do quite often, it's not a shape mold, it's just a tiny little indentation, and you're just supposed to cram it in here till it stays. Which, if you push it in there deep enough, it will stay. But it does hinder his articulation, which if you'll see here, you've got a T-sphere running right into his arm, so his jacket, you can't really have Fair Play spelled well without moving the T-spheres. And look, I didn't even touch it and it fell out again. So that's really disappointing. And also, if you take them out, you'll notice there's a giant piece missing to Terrific. So that was overall disappointing, because I did want to have him posed with arms down by his side or something like that, but his arms, like this one, seems extremely stiff, and it fell off again. This one moves a little bit easier, standard range of movement. Well, almost. It seems that the arms are really hindered by the jacket and the T-spheres. So that's disappointing overall, but it's not completely horrible. The waist is too loose for my taste. The legs, they're a little stiff, but once you've got them worked around, they're going to be fine. There's the face sculpt, and overall, there's the figure. So, I'm kind of torn on this guy, because, to be honest, he's never really been that big as far as comics I've read. I haven't seen him turn up that much. Now, that isn't to say I haven't seen him. There's a really great scene, if anybody's read Infinite Crisis, where they're having this giant mass for the superheroes, and they're all at church, and he brings up that Mr. Terrific's an atheist, and in the DC Universe, they consider him to be one of the smartest men in the world. He's like, wait, you're the smartest man in the world, and you don't believe in God? He's like, yeah, and he's just like, well, wow, way to go, dude. And, I mean, little things like that, but nothing really major I really remember this character from. So overall, he's a lesser-known character. I'm glad they finally put him in a way, but at the same time, the T-spheres need some work, and the articulation is definitely... The jacket, the way they did it was definitely nice, but it still could have been refined to a better point. Here's the right leg of Giganta, as far as size comparison. So overall, I like him, but he needs some work. I'll go a 7, which is average, and I'll see you soon, YouTube.